so this is the after Christmas episode of the Midweek Howl that me and the Howl are recording before Christmas, but it's still the Christmas.
Get ahead of it.
Yeah, we're just getting ahead of the game. We both have busy schedules, not really, for the holidays, but we're just going to be like Nashville and take the last 3 weeks of the year off. So we're getting ahead of the game. We're doing the Christmas episode. So for everybody who doesn't know, this is the non-paranormal part of the From the Shadows podcast. I always got to do that disclaimer. But what I don't do on this part is tell everybody that they can go find us on the From the Shadows podcast on Facebook and After the Shadows, and find me at Shane Grove Author on Instagram and the From the Shadows podcast on Instagram. Go find us. Everybody that listens to this part but doesn't listen to the paranormal, go find us there. And if you're really good, go find the Howler on Twitter or X or whatever it's called at Ozark Howler, right? That's what it is.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Ozark. Yeah. Go find us, interact with us. Most everybody's pretty good. But I wanted to share with you, in the spirit of Christmas, because I think we've talked about before, what we get for Christmas, what we don't get, what we want, blah, blah, blah. But so everybody listening knows. Okay. Is there a break-in? What's going on?
Yeah, well, my son's home from the Navy, and he's got some of these teenagers showing up, or 20-year-olds showing up or something. Mm-hmm. And they're playing Xbox. My other one's playing Xbox right outside my abode.
Don't they know that there's?
They don't care. They don't care. They follow people that do little videos on a freaking toaster and post it and have 1 million followers. So I don't know. The younger people do not
appreciate much better content.
They do not care about the artwork. It's not about the artwork. It's about they're Machiavellians, right? The end justify the means. So
they're Machiavellians. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, everybody that listens knows I'm a mailman, and the whole, do you leave a gift for your mailman? Do you tip them? Do you give them a gift card, cookies, whatever? Okay. And yeah, we all appreciate, as mail, delivery people, getting some. I mean, the last 2 days I've been dying because I haven't been able to eat lunch because we got so much to do. I just don't have time to go eat lunch. I'm like, man, somebody's got to leave me some cookies out, and nobody has. It's just killing me. But
didn't you know that nothing's so important it can't be done until tomorrow?
Leaving me cookies? Yeah. Well,
I'm talking about all the packages. You bring them tomorrow, the next day.
I should. But it leads me to one of our rural carriers last week.
Yeah.
Got a gift from one of her customers. And she was kind of, I don't want to say she was complaining about it, but she was exasperated. Like, this is ridiculous. What am I supposed to do? So she has this older gentleman on her route. She's in her early 40s. She has this older gentleman on her route. He's in his 80s, and he left her a $150 gift card to Victoria's Secrets. Now she was. I'm like, well, I don't know. Should you be upset about that? And well,
they get on Facebook and sell it for 100. Nowadays, it don't matter nothing. You mean is she creeped out a little bit?
Well, that led to another part of the story that I had not been privy to, but that previously this gentleman, and I use that term lightly, had left her a pair of his used underwear in the mailbox because he thought she might like that.
Now, I've got more questions. How does she know that that's what his intent was? Did he tell her that?
He must have left her a note, like, I hope you like these. I think he was hoping that if he left her some, she might return the favor. But But she did not return the favor. At least that's what she told us. But I'm sure she did not return the favor. But yeah, so I think she's had to talk to this guy, or at least let his son know, because his son, I think, lives nearby him, and say, "Hey, look, this is a little bit inappropriate." But yeah, she was a little perplexed by what to do with this $150 gift card, and I was like, well, spend it. I mean, he's an old dude. He probably won't, he's not gonna be around.
Well, how old is old? Some people think 50's old.
Well, he's in his 80s.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, he's in his 80s.
So, I mean,
I think your mind's probably turning right now is how can she get more out of him without?
No, I was just, first of all, I haven't seen one of those stores in a long time. Are they still, I thought they were like a Best Buy. They were a great idea 25 years ago. Were they still around?
I don't know. I don't know. Because they were in malls, and I don't even know if there's malls around. The mall we have nearest to us is taken over by the hospital. The hospital bought the Lazarus part of it and has slowly bought the whole mall.
Ours they've been strangling off. They said 2.5 years ago, right before COVID, they weren't going to renew anybody's leases. There's where it used to be 300 stores, is about 15 now.
That's sad. Malls were a big part of our growing up. At least mine. I mean, I don't know.
I wasn't a mall rat. No,
you weren't. Well, I wasn't a mall.
I lived out on the freaking gravel. Who was going to bring me to the mall and come get me?
Well, me too. But so it's back to, Victoria's Secrets aside, would your mailman ever do a good enough job?
I don't even know who my mailman is.
That's even better, probably.
There's an old gal at the post office. She told me she was leaving. First, she said a couple weeks ago, and then she said, no, it's the end of the year. She's going to a bigger post office about 15 miles, about 8 miles away, to spike her retirement, I guess, because you get paid based on your post office size. Does that sound right?
Well, is she the postmaster at the little post office?
Yeah, she's like, yeah,
yes.
I think.
Yeah, you get paid according to size of the offices.
Okay,
yeah.
And her name's Karen, which I always joke with her. She's a great person. Uh-huh. But she lives right here, so it's not like she's moving. Within another postal thing within 10 miles of her house comes open. She said she just has to take it.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I can't blame her. Yeah, I can't blame her. You want to kind of sail off into into retirement. You gotta plan for it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're going down a rocky road here, Jack. I was about to say, if you're waiting her age to plan, it might be. I told a friend of mine that today. I said, when you're our age and people, I talked to people that hadn't planned very well, you got to throw the book away and go bandit, because there's no saving it now. You can't go sit down with a financial planner at 50 something and say, what do I need to do? That ship has sailed.
Well, unless you're planning on working until 75, then you got a good, 20, no,
because the compound interest still don't work out right for you. You're just too freaking old, and they accept it and going down the road.
So anyway, there's nothing your mailman could do that would be worth giving them $150 gift certificate to even the pizza place.
Well, I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Like, do you, aside from this guy maybe wanting to see her in whatever she purchased at Victoria's Secrets, is there anything that, would be worth giving? Like, I had on my mail route is one of my old science teachers, my 8th grade science teacher, Mr. Smith. And he came out when I first, 2 or 3 Christmases in, and he goes, I know we're not allowed to give you any gifts. He goes, but I just want to let you know we really appreciate what you do. And I'm thinking, whoever told you we couldn't take any gifts? Like, man, you might as well just throw a snowball at me the next time, is to tell me that,
Where do you think you got that from?
I don't know, but I think he's one of those guys that does everything by the book. And I think he really thought that if he gave me a $10 gift certificate to McDonald's, he might get arrested or something. or they might charge him more for stamps. I don't know. I don't know what he thought, but I just thought that was strange. Like, you can leave me cookies. I don't care. And I wouldn't care if anybody had left me a gift card. I mean, if you want to leave me cookies, as long as they're good, I'll take them. I mean, I don't need.
So
I don't
you are
even
Santa Claus.
Yeah, of course. I don't need a $150 gift certificate to Victoria's Secrets or, whatever the male counterpart to that is. I don't know. BW3s, Buffalo Wild Wings. That'd be
I got one of them record, but my 150 there would be a load.
But so we the last couple episodes we failed a couple times remembering stories that you had stopped and asked people to remember, because we're just old and busy, and we just didn't.
Well, obviously something hooks me. People don't realize this is completely unscripted, right? So we don't get on here. Yeah. You don't even tell me what we're talking about. Like today, I asked you what are we going to talk about tonight, and you're like, "Oh, I got something, but I don't want to contaminate your line of thought or whatever." Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's better when you're off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think.
Well, it could be. I don't know. So, there are the other things no better than I am. It won't make no difference.
Well, either way, so we failed miserably at Merriam-Westphal. I don't even remember what story she reminded. Well, I don't even remember what story that was. But somebody reminded us of a
short barrel rifle.
Short barrel rifle. So we got this email from Jackie Malmeister. I'm probably killing.
You shouldn't say that out there, because they could be. Maybe they don't want to be famous or stalked. Didn't you see Play Misty for Me?
No, I didn't see Play Misty for Me, but I think Jackie would appreciate getting mentioned, so I'm mentioning Jackie. So here goes. The Howler story. The story you were thinking of was remembering 9/11, 9/11 when the Howlers called the duty as National Guard. So that sparked a memory in you, and you're going to try to revisit that story and finish.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know what we were talking about to remind me that, but on 9/11, maybe we were doing 9/11 special. I was at home. I was off that day. I was a trooper, and a friend of mine stopped by and said, "Hey, dude, you need to turn on your TV. A plane hit the World Trade." And by the time we turned on TV, there was a second one hit it. And then we're sitting there. There was no internet. Certainly no smartphones with news, right? So you set it at a TV. And my lieutenant called and said, "Hey, can you, there was no can. Hey, man, if I got a deal for you, you're going to," and that's what he'd always say. And I thought I told this story. Didn't I tell this story?
Well, you told part of the story, but apparently you left off the short barrel rifle story. I don't know.
So anyway, they said, "Hey, you go over there and stand at the guard headquarters," because the people were just freaked out, right?
Yeah.
So I get my uniform on, get my hat on, get all my stuff on. I drive over there, and they had them barriers set up to serpentine everybody down to one lane right there at the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I backed my car in on the other side of the one barricade. It's a full marked state car. And I had that yellow arrow stick that was pointing everybody to the left. You know how it looks. You know how you can do your lights.
Oh, yeah.
But I had my window rolled down, and I had a rifle in there. It's an H&K. We don't carry AR-15s or not. We weren't violent back then. We carried H&Ks. So I had this H&K 93 sitting there, and a period of time, and I don't remember if it wasn't the first hour I was there. So I spent all day watching these they have their own civilian security, Department of Army civilian people, plus they had some National Guard people, none of which were armed, right? I was the only person with a gun. And of course they had 100% recall, so you had hundreds of people coming in there. It's a pretty big complex, but it's choked off by one place, right? So I've got to pace around there and look like I can stop, and I never forget my lieutenant. He called me in case another plane, in case he tried. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to sit out there and try to shoot down a 747. I mean, a 747. First of all, they're going to pick this place, and second of all, I'm going to sit out there with this thing and try to.
You're going to shoot. You're going to kill them before they die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? If they get to where I can hit them with this thing, we're all gone anyway. So he tells me just, hey, maybe that's why I've had such trouble professionally. He told me basically shut up and go do it. So I had to go out there and do it. So I stood around there all day, and towards sometime in the afternoon, they called me on the radio and told me to call him on the phone. So I had to go in this guard shack, and I called, and he said, hey, dude, where's your rifle? And I said, what do you mean, where's my rifle? He said, well, is your rifle there unsecured? And I said, well, I don't know. It's sitting in the front seat of my car in case I got to run over there and grab it and shoot this airplane down. He said, well, somebody on that detail, one of those guard people, it actually ended up being a female security guard. She complained that, now I'm standing right there. I'm standing by the door of my car, right? She complained that I guess she'd walked by one time or whatever when she was talking to me or whatever she walked by, and that made her uncomfortable. So they wanted me to put that in the trunk.
Why would that make
anybody? My whole point was the whole goddamn reason I'm here is for this rifle. If I was any rifler, I'd be Lucas McCain on the Rifleman. They'd have a new TV show for me, right? They'd redo the Rifleman and call me whatever, right? Right?
Yeah. He's blatantly told you to have your rifle ready to shoot down.
Whatever. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? And I said, well, they want to put it in front. You just got to secure it because So I walked over there and we had these 3-point slings that I hated because I'm in a Class A uniform. You know what I mean? I got, not really wool, more of a polyester blend. We didn't wear all this BDUs and shit that these cops wear now. You know what I mean? Like we had almost like a dress uniform, and it was not September, so it wouldn't have been short, long sleeve or tie yet. But seen that up there. But so I just grabbed it and I put the sling around. So I walked around, and apparently that made it even worse, right? Because now think about this. She applied for a job and was hired at the guard headquarters. They got freaking tanks and howitzers on the back parking lot. How did those guys get in the gate if that makes her uncomfortable? So then here's the part I know I didn't tell. I don't think I told anyway. Well, let me close my door. My son just come in real quick.
And he didn't. So about your son came in and didn't close the door. Isn't he in the military?
Yeah, he came in to show me his American Legion card. He drove into American Legion down here, and
we got to get you. We got to get you one of those.
My freaking door don't even lock me, and my door thing's not right. I've never fixed it because
I'm buying you a red sign that says recording, so that you can put it on the door.
It doesn't matter. The dog is who opened the door the first time, and she don't know shit. She won't care if it does. If she could read, she'd still open it to see what I was doing. I call her my desk dog. And so anyway, about 3 days after 9/11, the governor of Missouri had we're going to have a prayer deal. This is back when government officials prayed. Some of them still do, but back in them days, all of them did. That was the road to the election was paved with the Bible. And same lieutenant calls me, hey man, have I got something for you? Now, hey, remember this. So when he called me and said, that's what he'd always do. Hey man, I got a deal for you. And that deal was, hey, if you work on your day off, there was no overtime back then. They called it comp time. So if you work on your day off, they give you 8 hours off at some other point, right?
Yep.
The problem is on 9/11, you couldn't take any time off for a period of time because they had us watching parking lots and making people feel good by sitting, I don't know. You can't even imagine all the crap that happened for that 10 or 15 days after that, for 6 months after that. But just the amount of effort that went in to protect places in Missouri that post 9/11, I don't think any of the hijackers even stopped here. You know what I mean? They were in Boston, they were in Chicago, they were in I think they might have went to Mall of America, and they were in Las Vegas. Okay. Nowhere did they even come in here. Okay. So they're probably not going to go blow up the license bureau or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Everybody thought that whatever they thought. So he calls me and says, hey, well, they're going to have this prayer deal at the Capitol, and they want, they didn't call it Overwatch back then. They want a sniper with a rifle in case something happens. Because that's kind of what my deal was. So I was what they called marksman. I was actually a crisis negotiator, but my secondary duty was a marksman. So I got to go meet all these cops before this thing, there's a bunch of different police agencies, a whole bunch of stuff going on. And probably the coolest thing is they walked me down through the basement of the Capitol, and I had my uniform. I had another guy with me. And I had a big black Pelican case, and the people that knew, you know what I mean? They knew when I was walking through there, that big case, some stuff was going to, you know what I mean? I was the man. They bring you on a secret elevator, and they take me out on a roof, like the third or fourth story mezzanine level above where he's going to be talking down below. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And, they're doing sound checks, and you know how it is. They're doing sound checks and all this other stuff. So I hang out. So right before it starts coming out, open this case. Now, it's got a false front, so they can only see me from the chest up or so. There was a way if I stood back from the edge, I could hide, but the problem is if I get too far from the edge, I can't see what's going on in the parking lot. I can't see, right? So back to the gun. This is a big old sniping rifle, big old 700 Remington, 26-inch barrel, full-blown deal. And I set it up there with a bipod, and I'm not even touching it. I'm just sitting it up there on the roof, right? And it wasn't 10 minutes, and they're calling me, hey, dude, you got to take the gun down. It makes people feel uncomfortable. But we had a brief, hold on, we had a brief, and I had to snide off and say, I'm probably not going to be able to stop a Airbus 330 or 777 or anything bigger than a Walmart drone. I'm not going to be able to help you with, And they said, well, it could be, it could be Timothy McVeigh, it could be truck bomb, could be all this other stuff. Well, the problem is they watch too much TV, right? They watch too much TV. And the shit that they can do on TV is very hard to replicate in real life because I'm 3 stories up. So which means I'm however far away from the furthest point. So I'm not good with triangulation and geometry, but you understand what I'm saying? So way down there where the bad guy might be, you're not going to
be able to hit him either anyway.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty good. I could hit the truck, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop him. This little 7.62 round, any opposing force that's got their shit together, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to stop the operation all by yourself.
So then I put the gun on the edge, and then they come up on the radio and say, hey, you got to get the gun off the edge because you're making people uncomfortable. They want you to hide the gun.
Well, then why are you standing up there for?
Amen. Thank you. So then I backed up. Well, so this is what they said. You got to walk up to the edge with your hat on. So they know you're up there, and it'll make them feel better, but they don't want to see a gun because that'll make them feel worse. So it's like a pendulum. It's like a feel-good pendulum. You know what I mean? If you pull out too much stuff, you're spooking them, and anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what would make them feel real bad is you standing on the edge there and something going down, and by the time you turn around to get your...
You know what I've found out? None of it matters. It's all make-believe. None of it matters. None of it matters.
But I'll say that we just celebrated Christmas. We haven't.
Let me tell you something.
You and I
Santa
haven't.
Claus.
Everybody listening.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now. Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Does more good than all the counterterrorism programs we have probably in this country.
Yeah, why is that? What's your
just
philosophy?
The thought that he might be there?
Yeah.
Really?
You think the thought of Santa Claus keeps some people from doing some terrorism?
Yep.
Because he might not get some. Hey, I'll buy that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, we'll keep this episode short because, everybody's still recovering from Christmas. But I hope, even though you and I haven't got to celebrate Christmas, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And
was that the job that they wanted? Or is that the story that they wanted to hear?
Listen, that's the story they got. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you wanted to talk about something tonight, didn't you?
No, I wanted to bring up the $150 gift certificate to Victoria's Secrets.
Oh, that was the big story you wanted to talk about?
Well, I didn't say it was a big story. I just said I wanted to surprise you. I thought maybe you'd there'd be a tangent where somebody got you a $150 gift card to something, and
I'm telling you, I don't have any gift card stories, but I got some Victoria's Secret stories from back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. This is a family-friendly show.
We'll save that for a Patreon episode.
I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I got more stories than Carter's got liver pills. That's when, of course, now I don't even know what to go because we're family-friendly. But now that they even care about that, these old gals nowadays, they just walk around naked most days, And if they feel bad, they put a couple tattoos and some piercing on, and that's all their clothes.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Carter's liver pills, I don't know how much good they did him anyway.
Well, it was his brother, right? Wasn't his brother the issue? And I don't want to badmouth tattoos. Tattoos done correctly look great, but the holes in your skin and gauges, just, I've got to draw the line somewhere.
Well, everybody has personal preferences for sure. I can't, and some stuff looks all right. Some stuff is a cry for attention, and some stuff just doesn't look good.
They could just get a podcast like us, and they wouldn't have to get either.
That's right. So, well, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Hope everybody out there had a Merry Christmas. Hope New Year goes good. And if you want to give the From the Shadows Midweek Howl guys a Christmas present, share your favorite episode with a friend. How about that? If everybody that listens to us shares an episode with a friend, it'll make everybody happy going into the new year. How about that?
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the From the Shadows podcast.